107.9 and AM 990.
Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and in the studio today, one of our favorite people that we get to check in and see what's going on in the community and in the banking business. Tracy Strickland, welcome to our studios.
Good morning, George. Glad to represent Triumph for our Let's Talk Growth show, and very excited about our special guests.
You guys always bring in some great things. I like to tell our listeners, a little bit about Triumph Bank. Of course, they are a local community bank. They do a fabulous job of outreach into the community, and a phone number to reach them is 901-333-8800. Great website, a lot of fantastic information, triumphbank.com. And they have 4 locations, one at Poplar and I-240, Germantown, also Collierville and Arlington. You guys are everywhere. And you've got a special guest in the house.
I always say I have a
today.
Special guest, but I think I have the most special of all the special guests this morning. Our president and CEO, he was the second employee of Triumph back 11 years ago. He leads us with just the style of leadership that is leading by example every single day. He brings so much business through his awesome relationships in the community, through his work at his church, through all the work that he does with our community partners. I'm honored to get to work, just like 3 doors down from him every day at our Poplar headquarters. And we've just had some really great growth. And with our whole theme and our show's name, Let's Talk Growth, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to bring him in and let him give an update.
Yes.
And talk about what's going on at Triumph. So welcome, Will.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
You, Will, Tracy said you were the second employee. Who was the first one?
Mike McCarver.
All right. So is Mike, of course, is still with the bank? And
Absolutely, Chief Operating Officer, and his office is right across from mine.
All right.
We all get to see each other every day.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a fantastic company that you guys have built out. And, I understood as we were sitting down in the conference room that you've had some tremendous growth, and it's a reflection of the community growing.
We really have. We've been very blessed. Compared to the same time last year, our loans are up about $68 million, and our total assets are up about $96 million. So that's a tremendous amount of growth in 1 year. I think part of it is we just have a momentum that we have internally. We have some new people that we hired. They're doing a great job. We also have a community that's growing. And then the general economy of the country's growing some. So we've kind of have 2 or 3 good positive things going on at the same time.
A lot of good timing, I guess, on your part. But back in 2006 when you started it, the skies were a little more cloudy.
A little more dubious. Yeah.
Well, everybody has to remind us of that from time, and it's a good reminder, quite frankly, because we grew a lot during a time when it was very difficult, and now we're growing again at a very rapid clip. So I think we've proven from a business standpoint that we can react to the times either way.
Yeah. You know what I was curious about is I'm truly so impressed always with Triumph Bank and the days I'm giving back in the community where you're out there rolling up your sleeves and cleaning, picking up trash and helping people paint their houses and whatever in the community. Plus a lot of effort goes in to organize this and stuff. So you put a lot into that. But what kind of vision did you guys have when you said, "Hey, I'm going to start this bank and we're going to do it different"? Because you've been in the banking business. So
June 30th was my 39th anniversary in the finance business. I've been out of college that long, which is scary. But yes, our idea was to take one customer at a time, come up with a customized solution for what they needed. What banks tend to do is they have an idea of what the customer looks like. They create a box in which to put that customer. And our idea was that we don't need to put the customer in a box. We just need to look at each individual customer and see what their needs are. For example, we talk about our growth. You have to make some big loans to be able to grow that much.
Yeah.
But we make some small loans. We made one recently. It's a cool story. There's a couple here in town, and they had a health problem, which turned into a financial problem, which became a legal problem. And so they were referred to us, and it took several people to try and figure out how to make this work. But we just closed on their new loan for them this past Friday. And the long and the short of it is except for their car, everything they have will be paid off. They'll end up with this house. It'll be a brand newly renovated house. And they'll have equity in the house based on the appraisal.
Oh, my God.
And they didn't have to cash in all their retirement that they had to try and resolve the situation. So it took a lot of people, a lot of effort to do that. But it's a great example of coming up with a customized solution for a couple that just needed some help.
That is incredible. Just, I'm sure there's a lot to that story, but I'm curious about how did that end up, Will? How did that end up starting off? I mean, they sat down and said, "Look, we've got a problem here. I need some help," and then one of your officers picked up the phone and
the way it really started was I've been involved from a board membership standpoint in a local not-for-profit. One of the employees of that not-for-profit went to the general manager and said, because they have a great relationship, and they said, "I have a problem. Can you help me?" And so he picked up the phone and called me.
That's awesome. That is so good. We're talking with Will Chase, President and CEO of Triumph Bank, and our host, Tracy Strickland, in the house. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dig a little bit more into the growth and the good things going on in our community and also at Triumph Bank. You're listening to FM 107.9 and AM 990.
KWAM, now on FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Memphis Daily News Report, credible, reliable, always unbiased. The Daily News. Thomas & Betts plans to invest $21 million and add 75 employees in its headquarters relocation in Memphis and is seeking a 15-year tax incentive to help defray those costs. The manufacturing company announced that it intends to move its corporate headquarters from Southwind to the Ridgeway Center office complex in East Memphis. First Tennessee's bank's parent company saw net income climb 61% in the second quarter, and First Tennessee itself announced the largest merger in its history. Along with net income rising to $91 million, earnings climbed to 34 cents per share, a 58% increase over last year. The fate of the 100 North Main building has been postponed for another month. The tallest building in Memphis is slated to be sold at a foreclosure auction, but that auction has been delayed until August 16th. IMH Memphis defaulted on a loan from Shadow Tree Capital Management. The lender foreclosed on the building, but has now delayed the auction 9 times. For these stories and more, make sure you pick up a copy of the Daily News Report. You'll find it everywhere around Memphis, and you can read the online edition at memphisdailynews.com.
If you're looking for a commercial van to take your business to the next level, ask for more. The Ram ProMaster and ProMaster City vans were designed to do more. With the Ram ProMaster City, you can hold more with best-in-class cargo capacity, handle more with best-in-class payload, organize more with custom upfits, and get more out of every mile with unsurpassed fuel efficiency. Visit ramtrucks.com to make your business run stronger with a Ram ProMaster or ProMaster City commercial van. Based on small commercial van segment, Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
How strong is Allegra D?
It's my congestion's out of my way strong. Even in the park playing with my dogs. Go fetch, Bosley.
Allegra D, a fast, non-drowsy antihistamine plus a powerful decongestant that starts relieving your toughest allergy symptoms in under 1 hour.
Allegra D is breathing free for 24 hours strong, even in the convertible.
Allegra D, strong relief for your allergy symptoms, guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com. Use only as directed.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back to the studios. Today, like we do on Tuesdays, we turn our spotlight on some of our great business partners like Triumph Bank, and let's talk growth. And we've got a special guest in the house today, Will Chase. He is the president and the CEO of that fantastic bank, and then also Tracy Strickland, our host. And Tracy, one of the things that I'm always so impressed with your bank is how you guys are sort of blending both the personal touch, but also way out there on some leading edge stuff for technology.
Well, both are very important, obviously, and I think we pride ourselves in that personal touch and making sure we understand every part about the customer's goals and dreams. But
like ice cream.
Like ice cream. I know you're gonna bring that up. One of these days I'm just gonna show up at 7:30 with ice cream and surprise you.
And I'm coming in and make another deposit. Could I have some more ice cream?
Get some ice cream. Keep some ice cream in the fridge. But obviously keeping in touch with the trends in banking, making sure that banking is really easy for our customers. And we've got a guest that'll come on the next couple of weeks, Tim Clements, who's joined me a couple of times last summer, who leads our cash management. Just that whole part of our bank that has to do with technology, how on the personal side, the business side. Two projects we've been working on most lately is to redo the way our statement looks, just our account statement for both our personal and our business. And our vendor that we've been working with has actually allowed us to make some great changes, which has been a very exciting deal. Statements, I know most of our customers probably don't even open their statements or just throw them on the floor of their car. At least I've heard that story in the past. And, we really wanted to allow our, customers to give them something that's, educational possibly, and allow them to enjoy their statement. So we've re-laid out the statement where, it allows them to learn about some of the new features. We've got some educational points and lays out the account where they, it's easier to read and understand, and it looks a whole lot better. And the other part about it is that, when we redid our website 3 years ago, we also have to always think about what our retail online banking looks like, and all the capabilities, and as technology updates and changes, there's always improvements that can be made. So we have been working really diligently to have a new launch, a new look for that. It's not going to be majorly drastic. So if you're a Triumph customer, don't panic. It's going to be a great change. But it's going to allow you to do one thing that we're going to allow now is if you do have accounts at other banks, which most everybody does, we have a new feature that will allow that customer, if that account's in their name, to be able to move money from account to account, depending, to different banks. So as long as, if you've got an account at Triumph, an account at, XYZ Bank, and you need to pull some money in from that account into there, you can.
Yeah.
Without having to do a wire or set up an ACH. It's just a transfer like you would between accounts at the same bank. So just a lot of improvements on that way. So I'll bring in Tim in a couple of weeks and we'll talk a lot more. But it's exciting that we're always thinking about what's coming up next and not just making a tiny improvement, but to see where the trends are going in the next 2 to 3 years. And
well, you guys do a fantastic job with that. And then again, like I say, I know because of the stories that there's always that personal touch too, that that happens where there's conversation about let's sit down and talk about how we can help you.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a lot of thought that goes into that. It's not just let me get the quickest loan here or do this or do that. It's really thought through, and I think that is a caring
well, and as Britt talked about last week, we really do want to be that trusted financial advisor and be able to take care of if you've got a loan, but I'm sure you've got some deposits that we can really be that point person that you come to, when you have questions, and that, goes on to the things that we do in the community and the people that we touch and our partners that we work with, and we want to dig in and get to know them and figure out the best way we can serve.
And one of the talk about the best way you can serve, that's one of the things that I know that, I always try to kind of keep close. I'm impressed with Triumph Bank is you got to give to receive.
Right.
And you guys are giving, a lot always back to the community. And so let's take a look at some of the community involvement that, over the second quarter that has been going on.
Well, at Binghamton Christian Academy recently, it's one of the not-for-profits we support locally. It was really cool. I was really proud of our company. We had it was actually 1/6 of our employees showed up on one day to do Family Day. Right. We support the school, we support the students, but we also wanted to involve the families. So we did. We had a cookout, some games, and then did some financial literacy training that I thought that was really great, and it helps us to deepen our involvement. And We talk about our growth. Our growth has been great. We have a great group of employees. They work very hard. We also have some great board members. And I want to give a shout out because there's something that came out in the Memphis Business Journal recently about Mark Halprin. Mark is at Boyle Investment Company, and he was very instrumental in helping Service Master to stay in Memphis, Tennessee. It was a great article about him. You can Google it and find it, but it's an example. They left a building where he was the landlord, went to another facility downtown. He didn't get the lease for his company, but he was still involved in retaining them. And I think it speaks a lot about Mark, and it says a lot, I think, about our company.
Yes.
That we have board members who are out there in the community doing stuff like that.
See, that's incredible. And you guys, you're always helping in a lot of these little neighborhoods, and then in early education. I know there's some schools that you guys sponsor as well.
Right. Well, we sponsor the pre-K 4 class at Binghamton Christian Academy. And so instead of just keeping with that same classroom, we're staying with those kids and moving up with them. We're graduating up to kindergarten. So I cannot wait to start planning activities with those kids and really getting to know those families. But we also dig deep in South Memphis in 38126, and we work with Advanced Memphis. I've actually been asked to be on the planning committee for their largest fundraiser that's coming up at the end of September. I'll have Steve Nash come on. He's been on before to talk about Art for Jobs. But that'll be held at their warehouse. And one of the things that we're planning are not just 1 but 2 work days over there in middle September, where we will be cleaning out that warehouse. We'll be painting walls. We'll be setting up some of the art. We'll be getting their porch ready. We're providing all the valet parking for that event. And they have really grown to be able to hold more art, to be able to sell more art, and to do a much better job to expand their reach. Now I think that they're reaching out. I forgot what zip code it is, but it's one right next to 38126 to be able to provide the work-life program, which is the soft skills training program, and help people get on their feet and be able to get jobs and support their families. And then one of the things that I know Will and a few of us did a few weeks ago was at the MMBC, the Mid-South Minority Business Continuum, and we went to the Economic Development Forum, and I'd love for Will to speak about that group and how we got involved with that and the great things they do in the community.
They do. It's to increase. If you read the paper, Mayor Jim Strickland has been very involved in increasing the amount of contracting that the city of Memphis does with minority and women-owned businesses, and so that's part of what this forum was about. And so we were one of the we had a booth there and got to see a lot of our customers and meet some potential new ones. So it was a lot of fun to be there and support that great organization.
We're talking with Will Chase, President and CEO for Triumph Bank, and also Tracy Strickland. As we're wrapping up, Will, I want to ask you real quick. This is not a prepared question, but you're looking out at at Memphis. You're very involved. What are you most excited about for Memphis?
Well, we are growing. It's hard for people to think that Memphis really is. But if you look around, and so FedEx is blowing and going. We're the worldwide headquarters for just a top-notch company. Service Master, it's moving downtown. What a great story! What a great company. St. Jude is expanding. So I would put those 3 in our city up against anybody at this point in time, and ask them to say what they have that's going on. It's any better than that.
There you go.
Quite
Go
frankly.
Memphis.
So I think we have a lot of good things going on. We have young people moving here. It's less expensive to live here than just about anywhere else in the Southeast. So if you take that plus a growing community, and it's a great formula for a long-term growth path.
Thank you, Will. Well said. Tracy, good to see you back in here today. We'll see you next week, next Tuesday, same time.
Yes.
Thank you. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.